Along this path, I slowly learned to love the cherry blossoms. Each poem is contained within itself. So they're a series of linked poems. They don't necessarily build on one another. So at all points along the way, it's the same in a certain sense. The structure is the same. But yeah, it is also about making that link between the north and pushing people to go all the way along the path from south to north. And lots of people then push past their kind of normal barriers because we have our own kind of borders that we don't maybe go beyond Bell Street or we don't go beyond Albion Street. Now we have to go beyond where we normally go.
More Art is an art event that happens every year, founded by the Moreland Council. And this year the theme, or at least the agenda, was to put together the south and the north part of Moreland, going past the usual symbolic divide of Bell Street. And so we thought that writing was a very good way to put together the two souls and the diversity, I would say, of the council, and doing it through a performance, which is our performance, and at the same time engaging with the people who live here.
Malcolm and I wrote the poetry. We wrote it as reflections on the day, incorporating the stories of people that we met. We also had 2 days when we collected stories from the community, both in Fawkner and in Coburg, where we asked the community to give us a line, which we then used as inspiration for writing the poetry. Being out on the path was really, really pleasant and really, really nice. And there were lots of people who wanted their stories incorporated as well.
One of them was an Iranian migrant who wanted to tell us a story, but he couldn't tell us a story in English, and we asked people to write something for us. And he had his family around, there was his wife, there was a child, and he said, "Can I write in Farsi?" And we say, "Of course you can write in Farsi." And then we couldn't translate it, and he probably didn't translate exactly what he said, but the message he wanted to tell us was that he had a hard life and he had a hard journey, but Australia and Moreland allowed him to resettle and to find a new way with his family, which was a little bit somehow, you say, straightforward, rhetorical, but the way in which he was conveying and the difficulty in conveying that, for me, was the real message, not so much the story of his new life in Australia, but the fact that he could tell me something and he knew that that something in a way or in the other would have ended up on the path for other people to read.